guys how to break down this. I think in the market they call it Chinese eggplant. I mean, they say Baigan is Baigan. I'm not trying to discriminate, so that's gonna cut off the top. And you know, you don't have to be too careful here. All you would do is, using a paring knife, remove the skin. But I like leaving a little bit of the skin on, simply because there's a bit of more sweetness and smokiness with the eggplant. Move that aside there. With that little bit of skin, I'm not afraid that skin, you know. So all you do, you would peel it, like I said. Just give me a second to show you guys, and then just give it a rough chop, maybe about half of an inch. But I like cutting it down the center. Don't fret too much with the skin. There's a little bit of skin in it. It's all right. I'm just going to go down the center, and I want to show you guys something. One of the reasons why I like using the Chinese eggplant is no big overgrown seeds in there. And all you would do is just hit that a little chop like so. Then I'm going to give it a rinse with water, and that is it. I'm just going to go ahead and prepare the other things along with the rest of the eggplant there. And it's 5 in total I have. I'm gonna need some onion, some garlic, some scotch bonnet pepper, some potato and tomato and whatnot, but I'm gonna go ahead and prepare the rest of it. A tablespoon of olive oil in my pot here on a medium-high heat. I'm gonna turn my heat down to medium-low, and I'm gonna add garlic and half of that onion that you saw we had there. It's gonna give that a quick stir. Now I'm going to turn my heat down all the way down to low because I don't want to burn the garlic, but as with many of the dishes you've seen me make before, we're going to flavor the oil with the garlic and the onion. And speaking about flavor, I want some black pepper in there. And this is a recipe you would have seen on CaribbeanPot.com already, and half of a scotch bonnet pepper. Yeah, very small scotch bonnet pepper, but make no mistake, that thing here packing a punch. I have done Baigan and Aloo, or eggplant with potato. Aloo is just a word for potato that we use in Trinidad and Tobago. It is because of the Eastern Indian heritage part of our culture. I have done a version, well, 2 versions of this before. Today we're using the leftover stewed beef, which is right here in the bowl, and that recipe is available at CaribbeanPot.com and YouTube.com/CaribbeanPot. But I've never done it with the stewed beef, and this is one of them dishes my mom would make when we have leftover stewed beef. Yo, and we love this with sada roti, eating it with roti. And speaking about roti, I'm always getting questions about, Chris, when are you gonna drop the rotis, as in the different type of roti we have in the Caribbean. Recipes, yo, truth be told, if you go and you check CaribbeanPot.com, you will see sada roti, bus up shot, pepper roti, dal puri roti, all on there. And yo, check the dates that they were posted. You will see that Uncle Chris has been representing the culture before anyone could even spell YouTube and TikTok and all kind of thing like that, making the name on there. Uncle Chris has been representing the culture, and I'm saying this to boast. All I'm saying is that I've been doing it for a while now. It's on CaribbeanPot.com. If you want new recipes, I mean to say, back then the quality wasn't the greatest with the pictures and everything. So if you want me to repost those, drop me a comment down below. Sada roti, yeah. Bus up shot roti, yeah. Pepper roti, yeah. Peas puri, all kind of niceness. Yam roti, you want that, you get in that. Aloo puri, hey, I have all here. It's been about 4 minutes since I added everything in there. Now is when we're gonna go ahead and add all of the eggplant in there. There's a bit of moisture from the water that we washed it with. Just gonna give that a quick little stir. I'm gonna crank up my heat to medium. Put that stir there. As that fun happens there, we've got 3 medium potato that I cut up into wedges, which I quartered basically, and that's going to add some body to the, well, not body, but it's called Baigan and Aloo, or eggplant with potato for a certain reason. That is the potato element in there. We need salt, and while this is not a curry recipe, I like adding about a teaspoon or so of curry powder, just to give it that little je ne sais quoi. If you're looking for a strictly curry version of this without the stewed beef part of it, head over to caribbeanpot.com, yeah? But for now, we need some water in there because we got that potato, we've got the eggplant and everything else. Plus, when we put the lid on there, that eggplant is going to sprout up a lot of water, its own liquid, but we still need some more to braise the potato. That was 2 cups of water. We're going to bring that up to a boil. We're going to put the lid on there, and we're going to stir it every 4 or 5 minutes, just to make sure we have enough liquid in there to fully cook the potato. The eggplant will cook relatively quickly. Later on is when we will add the stewed beef near to the end there, because that is fully cooked already. It's just to add that little punch of flavor from the stewed beef with the ginger and everything that's already in there. But for now, we're bringing that up to a boil. You can see we've got a vigorous bubble going there. I'm just going to turn my heat down there slightly because I want that to gently cook and make sure the potatoes are nice and tender. What I like doing is tucking the potatoes down into the liquid because that is what's going to take the longest to cook. Just going to hit that to stir every 4 or 5 minutes, as I said. And with the lid, we're going to leave a slight crack so it can breathe and that moisture will start evaporating and everything will start coming together. It's been going for about 20 minutes and I've stirred it a few times already. The potato is starting to fall apart. The eggplant or baigan is fully cooked. So what we're going to do now is 3 things. Crank up the heat to medium high. We want to burn off all this extra liquid that's there. Now, if you're eating this with roti or rice or whatever, I like it with salad roti, as I said. You want just a tiny bit of gravy with it. The other thing I like doing is adding it was in the fridge, so that's why it's clumping together there. The pre-cooked leftover stewed beef. Just gonna make sure we give that a good mix because the little bit of gravy I had from the stewed beef, I want that to deep flavor everything here for me. It is not a pretty dish, but no need for tweezers and flowers and all kind of thing in our food when it comes to Caribbean culinary culture. The reason being, we always had the ends and all kind of thing nobody wanted to eat, and we made the best of it. So hold back on the tweezers for a minute now. The other thing I like doing is adding some tomato to the mix there, and that's just going to give it a pop of color. Plus, I find that the sort of tartness of the tomato, the acidity it brings to the game there. We spoke about this a few times already. I quite like it. Plus, when you're eating and you break one of them tomato there, because we're almost done. We're almost done, I guarantee you that. And the sort of 4th thing, taste it for salt and you would adjust it here. Sup, soldiers? Listen, if you enjoy this recipe, I'd really appreciate it if you hit subscribe and click that bell notification thing. If you've made the recipe, take a picture and send it to me, email address down here. I mean, trying to tell people the email address, then Butts will take the address and do all kind of thing with it. And tag me on Instagram at Caribbean Pot. I really appreciate you guys and thanks for being in my kitchen with me today. Irie? It's only been about 2.5 minutes since I added the beef in there, but just look at that niceness there. Some hot salad roti, and like I mentioned earlier there, head over to caribbeanpot.com. We've got that salad roti recipe there for you all. The stewed beef recipe, caribbeanpot.com and youtube.com/caribbeanpot. The residual heat will thicken this up for me. Remember, we tasted it for salt. I hope all it tasted for salt, adjusted. Earlier there, we used that half of a scotch bonnet pepper. While it was a small pepper, it will have a kick. If you want to leave that out, you can leave that out. The other thing I want to mention is if you can't source it, you want a bit of heat, you can use pepper flakes, or you can use any sort of pepper sauce in there, or habanero pepper. I'm telling you, I love me some habanero pepper as well. Chris here, CaribbeanPot.com. Always a pleasure having you guys here in the kitchen with me. I'm on making Baigan and Aloo with stew beef and Polly. Yo, Polly asking for mac and cheese. That boy love macaroni and cheese, boy. I just good food like this, and he want it. Anyhow, we too small for this at this point. Soon. Irie? What's up, soldiers? Don't forget to click subscribe. If you've already clicked subscribe, hit that bell notification thing. I want to all you missing out on the new videos, man. Come on, click.